Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
It's good to be in Lincoln. And Chief, I appreciate you hosting us here. Representative Jones, for your work in the legislature. This is the final stop on my 56 county tour. We saved the best for last.
Yeah.
So this is my ninth time doing a 56 county tour. I've done it every year I've been in service to the state, and I think you learn a lot more when you get out and visit. You learn a lot less when you just sit behind a desk all the time. So we have a couple of people I want to recognize. Chief, thank you for having us out in your hall. Aaron, EMS, right here. Thank you for hosting us. Sean Thomas from DNRC, who manages all of our state lands statewide and forestry programs. And Kevin Moritz. Kevin, thank you for having us out. Today, we wanted to take this opportunity, given we're hopefully coming to the end of fire season, to honor our firefighters and the work, and also celebrate some of the stuff we got done in this most recent legislative session. Representative Jones really led that effort. I'm going to be ceremonially signing two bills today. First, House Bill 127, significant in that it gives us a lot more flexibility related to fire suppression. We had, I think we topped off the fire fund with over $100 million in it. We spent, we've been pursuing an aggressive attack on all fires, and I'm pleased to report, even though we had just as many fires as last year, about 2,200 fires in Montana so far this year. We burned almost 100,000 acres less than last year when we had the same number of fires. And that's a credit to really DNRC and local fire companies for getting after it. And we got a lot better cooperation from the Forest Service this year than we have in past years. The second bill, House Bill 130, I was really pleased to see this get to my desk. This empowers state and county fire officials to go fight fires wherever they start. You know, we've been frustrated in the past. We've watched stumps smolder just over the line on federal ground. Now we can go fight fires up to 5 miles beyond our protection boundary. That means we can go in and put a water balloon on that stump and put it out before it blows up into a big fire. So we're really pleased to get that done. And Representative Jones, you want to make a comment or two about those bills?
Sure. And first, thank you, Chief, for having us. And obviously, I've been talking to the Chief. I've been talking to the ambulance EMS president. And Kevin is here again, who's head of the state fire. And actually, Mike Dodo, who worked on a lot of the fire bills and has for years. These folks, I wanted to give them a quick nod because without these folks, it wouldn't get anywhere. So Lincoln's in the trees. The areas I've represented haven't had quite this many trees, so I've been wandering around the trees, meeting folks, and trying to understand their needs, and of course tourism here and clean skies. 127, I was pleased with. It actually started out. So what basically it did, it allows us to keep those big assets. The fast attack, the big assets in the state, right? Before that, we would have to depend a lot on the federal government, who dropped from having 50 large assets to 18, and we couldn't get them here on time. So now we keep the large helicopters and large air tankers. We contract with these folks. And just some massive stats. A big helicopter dropped 1.83 million gallons over 54 days. We had a large air tanker based in Billings. We have the detection flights out now, right? The infrared flights we put out so we can see the hot spot even before the smoke starts. And the big scoopers. And so we try to keep the fire small. 127 focused on permanently funding that and permanently funding mitigation, right? And again, there's some data back behind the pizzas there that I have on fire that I put out from the DNRC. It did an amazing job. We've been gradually seeing a reduction over the years. This was a lot of starts, and we got them out quicker. And of course, House Bill 130 was dealing with a frustration. We'd have a fire in Helena, because we started this big fund 2 years ago. We made it permanent this year, but we had that big Helena fire, and we had a big air tanker and the big helicopters in Helena, we couldn't get authorized to fly, and it grew to 15,000 acres. So now we don't. We just, working with the DNRC, we simply don't, we tell folks we're getting on a fire, we give them notice, and we get on the fire. Because if it's within, as long as it's safe for the firemen to fly, we fly. So those were big bills. We also did a couple other fire bills, and we signed them symbolically in Conrad, 128 and 129. One was one I never thought we had to do, which was our firemen were coming back from an emergency event, or our EMS folks with the jaws of life, and coming back and off an active event and getting fired because they were late. So it simply says if you authorize somebody to be EMS and they're late, I couldn't believe we had to do this one, but apparently it was happening, so it says you can't be fired if you're on an active event. If people authorize you to do it, don't fire them for doing it. And then, of course, 129, the firemen and the EMS folks that will get a recognition of kind of a tax credit. It's not a ton of money, but it'll save them $150 to $180 a year on $3,000, half a month's salary effectively, that they will get state-free income tax free, because we wanted to encourage people to volunteer and also recognize them for volunteering. And again, Mike Dodo back there was critical in these bills, as was Kevin. And so, anyway, we've got a lot of work on a number of bills. Been pleased to work with the Gianforte administration. I've always kind of had a nature of being a doer. I'm appreciative of the governor that's a doer, not a talker, and so we've managed to get a lot of this stuff done. Again, there's information back there on taxes stuff we've done, and on keeping our medical centers, our FQHCs viable, and on our little rural schools. So pleased to work on this. Appreciative of all you turning out. I've been trying to meet a bunch of folks over here, and so very much enjoyed this. And also afterwards, we need to recognize we get some of our veterans here after this that want to introduce the governor to as well. So,
Thank you, Representative. Thank you for your leadership. And thank you all for turning out, and for our firefighters in particular. Thank you for the work you do to keep our community safe, and for our veterans for your service to our country. So let's sign these bills. First, House Bill 127. This is the one that makes the fire fund permanent.
yes, the Fast Attack Fire Fund permanent and mitigation.
So there we go. And this is 130. This is the one that says you can go fight it on federal land. Forgiveness, not permission. Thank you. We have some pizza.
Well, and we have the fire chief has got to go back to work here soon, so I was wondering if we wanted to get a picture or two with